In a small, quiet town called Pinahat, nestled in the Agra district of Uttar Pradesh, India, lived Karan Singh and his family. Karan worked miles away in Surat, a city known for its bustling textile industry, where he earned a living in a sari factory, a traditional Indian garment worn by women. Back home, Karan's wife Yashoda managed the household, raising their 2 young children with help from Karan's younger brother, Bhanu Singh, who lived with them to assist during Karan's long absences. Life seemed ordinary for this family in their close-knit Indian neighborhood. However, behind the facade of a typical modest home, a dark secret would soon unravel, shaking the foundations of trust, love, and family, culminating in a chilling tragedy that would send shockwaves across the community. On November 18, 2024, Karan returned home on leave from his job in Surat to spend time with his family. However, on November 29, 2024, at around 4:00 p.m., Karan left to run some errands, heading to the market. During this time, Raunak, Karan's 9-year-old son, was playing outside the house. Without warning, Raunak suddenly disappeared. When the family realized Raunak was missing, panic quickly spread through the household. Yashoda, Raunak's mother, was devastated. Tears streamed down her face as she cried uncontrollably, calling her husband. "Raunak is missing! We've searched everywhere, but he's nowhere to be found. Please come home quickly." Karan rushed back home, desperate to find his son. Despite searching every possible corner of the neighborhood, Raunak was nowhere to be seen. With growing fear and no answers, Karan finally contacted the police. Yashoda explained to the authorities that Raunak had been playing outside until about 5:00 p.m. Somewhere in that window he had vanished. The police quickly launched an investigation. Days passed, and they searched nearby areas, including wells, drains, and fields. But there was no sign of Raunak. On the morning of December 2nd, 2024, at 6:30 a.m., a neighbor named Dinesh stepped outside his house. Near the alley, he noticed a sack lying on the ground. Curiosity led him to take a closer look, but as soon as he peeked inside, he was met with a horrifying sight. Raunak's lifeless body was stuffed into the sack. His head was partially visible, showing brutal injuries. The news spread like wildfire. Neighbors and family members gathered, shaken by the horror of what had happened. Yashoda, Raunak's mother, was seen wailing uncontrollably, collapsing in grief. Witnessing her anguish brought tears to the eyes of everyone around her. Realizing the seriousness of the crime, the police called in a forensic team. Upon examining the body, the team noticed that the blood on Raunak's head had dried. They also found carb leaves stuck to his body. The villagers often dried carb leaves on rooftops to use as fuel for cooking. This clue prompted the police to search the surrounding rooftops and houses. Their investigation eventually led them to Karan's house. On the rooftop, they found piles of carb leaves identical to those found on Raunak's body. The police also discovered bloodstains on the staircase and rooftop, which someone had tried to clean. The evidence pointed to a horrifying possibility. The murder had occurred inside the house, and someone close to the family was involved. The police conducted a thorough search of the home and found a blood-stained vest belonging to Raunak in Bhanu's room. They also noticed blood splatters on the walls, further deepening their suspicions. The first suspect was Bhanu Singh, Karan's younger brother. He was arrested and brought in for questioning. Initially, Bhanu avoided their questions and tried to deny involvement. But as the interrogation intensified, he broke down and revealed the shocking truth. Bhanu confessed that he had killed Raunak, with the help of Raunak's own mother, Yashoda. The police were stunned. How could a mother conspire to kill her own child? Digging deeper, the police discovered compromising photos and videos on Bhanu's phone. These revealed that Yashoda and Bhanu were engaged in an illicit relationship. With Karan frequently working in Surat, Bhanu and Yashoda grew close and began behaving like husband and wife. On November 29th, while Karan was at the market, Bhanu seized the opportunity to meet Yashoda in her room. However, as they were together, Raunak accidentally walked in and witnessed the horrifying scene. Raunak was shocked and confused. Realizing what he had seen, he told his mother, "I will tell Papa everything." Yashoda and Bhanu panicked. They tried to bribe Raunak with money and snacks, pleading with him to stay quiet. But Raunak was adamant. "I will tell Papa what I saw." Fearing exposure and the humiliation that would follow, Yashoda and Bhanu made the unthinkable decision to silence Raunak forever. Bhanu lured Raunak into his room, promising him snacks. Once inside, they tried one last time to convince him to stay quiet, but Raunak refused. Desperate and afraid, Yashoda turned to Bhanu and said, "Kill him. If he lives, he will ruin us." As Raunak finished eating his snacks, Banu picked up a wooden bat used for washing clothes and struck the boy on the head. Raunak fell to the ground, bleeding and crying. "Uncle, why are you hurting me?" But Banu showed no mercy. He struck Raunak repeatedly until the little boy stopped breathing. All the while, Yashoda stood outside the room, listening to her son's cries but doing nothing to stop the murder. After the killing, they placed Raunak's body in a drum near the staircase and attempted to clean the bloodstains. Later, they hid his body on the rooftop, covering it with carb leaves. For 3 days, Raunak's body remained there, while Yashoda pretended to cry and search for her missing son. On the night of December 1st, fearing the police might discover the body, Yashoda and Banu decided to dispose of it. Around 4 o'clock a.m., they tied Raunak's body with a rope and lowered it into the alley behind their house. The next morning, when the body was discovered, Yashoda and Banu continued their act, crying and grieving to mislead everyone. With Banu's confession and overwhelming evidence, the police filed a charge sheet against both Yashoda and Banu. They were arrested and sent to jail, awaiting trial. This tragic story reveals the darkest side of human relationships: betrayal, greed, and unthinkable cruelty. A child trusted his mother and uncle, only to be silenced forever. What do you think of this shocking case? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this story informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Crime Files for more real-life crime stories. Stay tuned and hit the bell icon to never miss an update.